my show. I am Amara la Negra, and you're listening to Exactly Amara, a production of iHeart. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as usual, don't forget us. Don't forget to give us those 5 stars because, mi amor, yo me lo merezco. Soy divina Favo, and I always give you the best of me. Subscribe to the podcast. And of course, go check us out on the YouTube channel by searching for My Cultura podcast and clicking on Exactly Amara. With that being said, I've had like 3 Red Bulls. I am running and I had Cuban coffee. You already know that I am with the shits today. Entonces, ever since I started this podcast, I wanted to do something where I was organic. I was really me. I was just, transparent. And this is Exactly Amara. But I can't do this show without my producers that have become my friends. They are half of my brain. They literally are half of my brain. And that is Alex and Arlene. Pero I don't like the Alex and Arlene. I like it better when it was, what was it, Alex? It was
Big Sexy for me, of course.
Big Sexy. And Arlene, what was your sexy name?
Miss Nasty?
We always change your sexy name. We need your sexy name. You know what, guys? Let me know what name should we give Arlene, her sexy name, on Exactly Amara, on social media, on Instagram, Twitter, or
something good.
Yeah, something good. What should be Arlene's sexy name? Anyways, ¿cómo están ustedes? How have you guys been?
Amara, you woke me up like I drank a million Red Bulls because you are already, before we even started recording, you were already dropping some gems about deal breakers. So I'm excited to get started. Like bad breath in the morning. I didn't realize you were into that.
That's a thing.
Yeah, that's how you know if you really love someone. You just gotta give them that breath in the morning.
Wow.
And if they still love you, God, or that morning como que saliva, that morning saliva,
Oh my God. That's a
but
thing?
it ain't good for everybody. Some people can pull it off, like their breath is still like como que, it's a little stench, a little funk, but it's okay. And some of y'all need to not do it. Y'all's breath we need a detox. And it'd be like that morning saliva be like you just had como like a whole spoonful of yogurt. It's just too much.
Yeah.
Like I can't do it. I just don't want to.
I do drool.
Wow.
I drool.
Si estoy bien cansada. Yeah.
Si estoy bien
That's a
cansada.
beautiful sight
Exactly.
to wake up to, by the way.
Yo, what are a couple of deal breakers, Alex? Have you ever had any deal breakers with any girls that you'd be like, yo, I can't do it?
Oh man, that's a good question. I am not a very picky person, but Jesus, I would say don't be super jealous and crazy. I hate that. Like,
really?
tú sabes. Yeah, that's a deal breaker for me. If I notice off the bat that you're over possessive and siempre metiéndote en cosas que no tienes que meterte, right? That is a turnoff. That is a deal breaker. That is a no-no. I don't like drama. So all of that combined is like, I run the opposite direction.
But if you've noticed, women, like in your case, if you've ever had that situation happen to you, that means you have a good dingling. Because if your dingling is whack, entonces they be like, yo, I don't care what you do. Get out of my, bueno, do whatever you want. I don't care. Pero if she's on it, like, where you at? Where you at? Who you with? Oh, hell no. He's giving my dingling somebody else. And then that's when you go crazy.
You're right. That's exactly how it happens sometimes. I'm not going to lie.
Or you were doing something suspicious. And that's why.
No, we can't.
Because there's a difference between being jealous and just trying to hold you accountable. ¿Qué andabas haciendo?
También. And if you haven't figured it out, today's topic is deal breakers and the behaviors that sometimes we encounter when we're dating, hookups, or just when you're playing, dating. And honestly, I've had a couple of deal breakers. But Arlene, what are some of the deal breakers for you?
Oh no, I'm nervous. There's too
qué?
Many. I have high standards.
She said it's been so many.
Ver, go, give me some. Let me see your high standards. Let me see. Okay, go.
I can't, no me gusta que me echen mentiras. I don't like to be lied to. Even the littlest lie, because if you can say one little lie, to me, that's like, you can say anything, right?
Hay muchas cosas, pero deal breakers for me are, for example, bad hygiene. It's a deal breaker. And if you have a bad hygiene 1 or 2 days or you're having una temporada, I understand it. I'm cool with it. For example, when I had my girls, my hormones were all over the place. Not during my pregnancy, but after. for like a month afterwards. I don't know. Sometimes me sentía como olores, like, what is happening? Como que that's not like me. And then afterwards, ya todo got back into place, which you have to understand, your body's going through a transformation. Pero for men, if you have a moment, está bien, I don't even mind. I love sometimes to have my man smell a little funky. Como que I like the funk. I like
true.
the
Girls
funk.
like that stuff for real.
The funk. If you're sweaty and you have sweaty balls or whatever,
wow.
if you have a little must, como que, ay, qué rico, mira, that's my man.
What?
Como que huele a macho.
No.
A macho masculino.
No.
Let me smell them balls. Claro. Sometimes it's okay. Now, if the funk is real, no, papa, you got to go handle it.
Right. Correct.
But hygiene is a thing. Teeth is a thing. Yeah. If your teeth is a thing for me. I don't want to como que put my mouth, all up in it. It makes me feel like como que just from looking at it, I'm already itching. Like, don't put your mouth anywhere. No, I don't want to do it. Honest that. No, I just
You're already
don't.
Itching?
They want to. Yeah. You want to make sure that they've cleaned their teeth, that they're flossing and brushing. Is that what you're talking about?
Sí, porque si yo te siento como que your teeth, la saliva, entonces I can't even imagine if you're kissing or doing things in certain places. I feel like the bacteria, I just don't want to do it. So that's one. Nails, if your nails are really dirty. I don't mind, tú sabes, normal, los hombres, pero sometimes you look like you've been working como que, tú me entiendes, tienes todas esas uñas super nasty. I start to itch. I feel like it's a bacteria. I don't want to do it. Tampoco.
Are you into beards?
Dudes, I love me some
dudes
beards.
With beards, yeah.
I don't mind the beards. I don't mind the beards.
That's not a deal breaker for you. You're a lot. You could go with a guy that's clean shaven or a guy that has a.
I like metrosexual men in that aspect. Que te hagas tu pedicure, tu manicure, que te cuide. I think that's important on both sides. What else is a deal breaker? Baby mamas. If your baby mama is a hot mess, you have to have your things under control. You don't want anybody that's going to be all up in your relationship while you guys are trying to date. And every time you're out on a date, she's like, come get the kid. Or del otro. Where are you at? There's some ex-girlfriends, ex-boyfriends that can be very toxic and can mess up your relationship. So those are definitely deal breakers.
So if they have an old significant other, most likely a baby mama, right? That's what we call them, baby mama.
Or baby daddies, let me tell you.
Or baby daddies, right? How much do you take before it is a deal breaker? Because you're not starting it off as a deal breaker, right?
Right.
Where it's something that maybe a month in, you're like, forget it, I don't want this anymore, right?
Correct.
So for you, have you experienced that where you've dated someone that maybe had a significant other that was just out of their mind?
Yeah, I did it once. Y cada rato, every time we would go out, because specifically when we eat out, ella siempre necesitaba algo for the baby. And
that's weird.
I'm pro baby. There's some women that can't get over their relationship. They can't get over their ex. They can't get over the fact that they've moved on, especially if they still have feelings for that person. So they'll use their children as a way to try to control their ex. Like, come get the baby. I need a babysitter, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. Or
got it.
And those things can be very como que damaging, because you could really have something good, but if you don't know how to control that ex part of your life, that somewhat is still part of your life, then that is definitely an issue. So,
you know what I want to know? Honestly, I want to be a fly on the wall somewhere.
Dime.
And I would like to figure out whose deal breaker you are. Which guy's sitting out there right now saying, that's a deal breaker. I cannot be with Amara. Like, I would like to know
they would be so lucky.
Oh yeah, you should ask my exes.
Yeah, right. So who's using Amara as their deal breaker, right? Like, because a lot of guys might not be able to take on the mantle of, like, you have a very busy lifestyle. You're flying around, you're doing this, you have kids, and
I just started a new business, TV. By the way. I just started a new business. Let me promote. Las Royal Twins Transportations. I am now renting vehicles. So ya tú sabes, mi amor, I'm always looking for something else to do, but I definitely get it. You know what would be interesting? Alex, give me the reasons why you think you would be a deal breaker to someone.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what.
Give me your flaws.
I'll tell you what. I am. I like this because I can tell you that I have a lot of flaws. And one of them is a lot of them could be I'm not as super organized as I think that I am. I thrive in chaos. right?
Okay.
So I have what's called control chaos. It's everywhere. Things might be everywhere, but I know where they're at. Not like messes like on the bed, que si esto, que si el otro. Pero what I'm doing, the things that I'm doing.
My mom is just like un reguero, but she knows exactly where everything is under everything. So you're one of those.
Yeah, okay, so mentally, that's where I'm at. And
give me another one.
And two, I think I might be a deal breaker because I did have kids. You know, a lot of girls, I don't know. You tell me, Amara. Yes. I think that I was always a deal breaker because I had a past and I had 2 older daughters. So to me, in my head, I thought maybe that was a deal breaker because girls always just want, they don't want that
the deal
baggage,
breaker is not your babies, it's the baby moms. Is she
the
cool?
baby moms, right?
Is she cool?
Yeah. She is now, but back then she wasn't bad. She would never meddle in my relationships, but
you felt the pressure.
Yeah. Especially since I was a dad, they came first. They always came first, you know?
No. Mira, and let me tell you something. The woman that you date that feels some type of way about your children as a man, if you are a man and you're dating a female, doesn't matter how fat her ass is, how good her toto is, it doesn't matter about none of those things. It doesn't matter how pretty she is, nada de eso. If you say, I need to go take care of my kids or whatever, or your kids are your priority, and she has an issue with them, red flag, cut her ass off immediately. Don't even question it. Don't. It's not going to get any better. It's only going to get worse. As a man, as a father, as a woman, as a mother, your children are your priority. Everything after, después, comes after. Right. So if she has a problem with it, mama, you got to go out. Olvídate de eso. My kids are always going to be mine. You're here today. We don't know about tomorrow. Bye.
So would it be the same if for a man dating you, Amara, since you have children and you have a relationship or, sometimes, contentious relationship with your ex, him getting jealous of you having a relationship with him?
I haven't seen the donor in months. I haven't seen the donor in months. He hasn't even seen my daughters. Así que that's not even a question. That's never going to happen. He doesn't even care. My kids come first, and my kids are part of me. And I am a package. Before, my oldest daughter was my mother. And I always said, this is a 2-for-1 deal. You want me? Tiene que venir con la suegra. I know, Baba, I know it's hard, but we all live together. No, okay, you want to have privacy. You want privacy? Bueno, yo la mando ella para el mall. I can have, mira, vete a casa tu amiga for a day. But as soon as it's done, she's coming back. You know why? Because I know that it sounds terrible, but for me, my mother, as a single mother, as her only child, she would never leave me for a man. Therefore, I shall never leave her for a man. So yo sería incapaz de dejar que mi mamá viva sola su vejez, for her to get old by herself somewhere in an apartment, a house by herself. And I'm over here with my husband, with my daughters, living my best life, y ella sola, when everything that I have and the woman that I am today is thanks to her. So we all live together, and that's it.
Amara, what if you were just doing your thing? Don't think of your mom as part of the equation.
Yeah.
But the man you were dating tenía su mamá en la casa.
Mi amor, we're one big
and they would have
family.
the same. Oh, really? You would be
happy family.
You would be. That's not a deal breaker.
It's not. And if my mom and her and his mom don't get along, y'all better figure it out. Que se caigan a galleta. Y'all better scream at each other lo que tú quiera. Y'all's gonna figure it out because family is family. We can argue, we can fight, but at the end of the day, we can't get rid of each other. This is what it is. God put us together, and now we're stuck. So let's figure it out, and that's just it. So that's for me. Arlene, what are some deal breakers for you? Like, meaning like the reasons why you would be a deal breaker for someone.
So many deal breakers. Dun, dun, dun. I think I have high standards for men. I've dated a lot and I've been through a lot of bullshit. So I'm already like, I know what I want. I know what I don't want. So if you're not willing to give me, I'm willing to compromise, but I'm too tired. And I'd rather live a peaceful life on my own than dealing with some bullshit.
So you have high standards would be your deal breaker? I mean, that's not good enough. It's like, oh, I'm too loving. That's a deal breaker. No, that's too
not
perfect.
A deal breaker?
That's too perfect.
Let's see what else.
What are reasons? A ver, dime la verdad. You're picky. You're what?
I'm not picky. A ver, let's see. I will tell you this. I dated this guy many years ago, and he told me, if we're going to fight, don't fight dirty.
You're a dirty fighter?
Because when we would fight, pues I would get, I would me alteraba and I would say some things that maybe I would regret.
Oh, so you're one of them.
He told me, he's like, I'm down to fight and I'm down to argue. Just don't fight dirty. And I never forgot that. And
so
that was probably a deal breaker.
You'll say all the things that he told you in his vulnerable state, like, oh, you know it. And then when you fight, you're like, oh, you.
No, I don't know. I would, back in the day, I don't do it now. I'm more peaceful. I'm a lover, not a fighter now. But,
okay. Okay, well, I'll tell you some reasons why I would be a deal breaker for someone. I am very ambitious. Sometimes it could be an issue because sometimes you're like, yeah, you said that the goal would be to get this. Yeah, that's it. And I'm like, no, let's do this and let's do that. I make myself too busy, which sometimes I run myself too thin. And that can affect the relationship because sometimes you just want to have some relaxing time. You just want to chill. And I can chill and watch a movie in Netflix, but in between the movie, I'm on my phone researching something or writing something or texting something or working. It's hard for me to turn off the work button off. And now that I am a mother, it's hard for me to turn off the mom and working button off. My mother can sometimes be a deal breaker. A lot of men don't want to date someone that, we're making out and my mom is in the kitchen, cocinando, trasteando, like, what are you guys doing? Like, we're still 15, which sometimes can be an issue. I travel a lot. Traveling a lot can sometimes be an issue because I may be here. I may tell you, babe, I'm going to leave for 2-3 days. And next thing you know, I left for a month or two. You have to be willing to be able to travel. There's a lot of things that come with a woman that's successful, with a woman that's independent, with a woman that's an entrepreneur, with a woman that, with all these things. It doesn't make me perfect. I think I'm so perfect. No, para nada. But I think that moving forward, now that I do know what I want, where I stand in my life, I will be very direct. I am a woman that is meant to be great. And if you want a woman that is meant to be great, I want you to hop on this boat with me. We're going to do this together. But unfortunately, these are the things that come with me. And it's funny because when it's a woman that's going through it, it sounds different. But when it's a man that's a successful man that travels, that does all these things, it's like, deal with it. He's, él es un hombre. So sometimes it could be that little issue. But here is a list of a couple of deal breakers, and let's break them down just a little bit because the list is pretty long. Addiction of any kind. Is that a deal breaker for you? He's addicted to sex, drugs, liquor.
No, well, I mean, if it's
video
liquor
games,
and stuff like that, I don't care. Yeah, video games don't bother me. Liquor definitely does bother me. Partying bothers me because I'd like to have
shopping.
Shopping.
Shopping's okay. Shopping. Do you like shopping, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of built like a man. I know exactly what I want. I go and I get it and I'm out.
Right, same, right. Because I'm a man, so
No, yo me aburro. Like, if give me options 1, 2, 3. If I have like options 1 through Z, A through, no. I'm just like, oh my God, I can't decide. So I'm not a shopaholic. If you are indecisive, is that a deal breaker for y'all?
It's annoying.
It is.
And that kind of goes hand in hand with what you just said with giving me too many options. That's being undecisive as hell. If you're giving me 30 options.
Yeah, I think that it is true. If you're undecisive, it's definitely not a deal breaker, but it is annoying, like Arlene said, because it's like, yes or no. It's not, well, let me think, let me see, I'm not sure.
It's not
where
attractive.
Do you want to go? Worst question ever. Where do you want to go eat? And it goes back and forth for an hour. No one knows what the freak they want to eat. And it's like, nah, you pick. It's okay. I'll eat whatever you want. And they're like, but I'm asking you because I need advice to let me know exactly.
I already learned mine. My to-go is always Italian. Give me Italian food. Yeah, because in the Italian, you can have salad, pasta, this, chicken, whatever. So I always like to go for the Italian. But the thing is, what about if you ask and they're like, oh, no, I don't want to eat that. Entonces, ¿para qué mierda me preguntan? No me pregunten.
There's the indecisiveness. There you go. Me cago en la madre.
Okay, what about lack of humor?
You need somebody. Although, sometimes jokes can come in at an inappropriate time and you're like, I'm being serious right now.
Exactly.
But you need to have a little humor.
Yeah, I like men with humor.
That. Yeah, me too.
No, I like men with humor. However, I have dated someone. I dated someone for like a week and I just couldn't do it. You just laughed for no reason. Yeah. What is so funny? Like, shut up. Everything was just for everything. I'm like, dude, I didn't say anything. What is funny? Todo el tiempo era una maldita risa que it was starting to annoy me. In the beginning, it's like, and you laugh along. But then afterwards,
do you think he was nervous?
I was about to say.
Do you think that because a lot of that little like twerps, like laughing and que si esto, que si lo otro, could be nervousness. It's hidden. Nobody will ever understand it.
But you need to take your nervous ass somewhere else. I don't want to do it.
You're indecisive. You lack humor, and sometimes you have too much humor. I hate you. Get out of here.
I am done. How about this one? This one's a good one. What about people that are broken? Broken, let's break it down. Broken is like, oh, you had issues in your childhood, or, you come from a broken home and that lack of whatever now has affected you as an adult. Y todo eso. Those people that come como que you need therapy, como que you have all this drama, all this hurt, held up inside.
Are you describing me? Just kidding.
Oh my God. Eileen, are you broken?
I'm kidding. No, I feel like everybody's a little broken.
Yes. Everybody is a little broken, though. I'm not going to lie.
Everybody's a little broken. I'm going to therapy right now. I got childhood issues that I'm dealing with.
Girl, so do I.
We're all dealing with it.
Well, yeah. I know I definitely am broken. I don't know if I'm healing. You know what? I'll tell you this much. My mother always said, just deal with it. Deal with it. It was like her way. It wasn't so much of
my mom.
That's life. Deal with it. Yeah. Que tanto tú lloras? Like, there's people going through worse things than you, and you kind of feel like you just move forward, you move on, but doesn't mean that you've healed. You just cover it up with work or with life or whatever. Eventually, at some point, you explode. And I know I have daddy issues. I know I have, sexual trauma issues. I have many type of issues that I've covered for many years because life doesn't wait for you. You have to move forward, And I do understand the broken part. And then now with my donor and my daughters, I know that definitely left a mark in me. But I saw something on Instagram that touched me, and I will always carry this. It was a scene from a movie, and he said, Denzel Washington, some things in life are meant to hurt you, and others are meant to change you. And the things that have happened to me have changed me at this moment to the better version of me, because I've used this to empower me. But I do understand how some men are broken, and their brokenness can come into domestic abuse. Their brokenness can come into being bad fathers. Their traumas can come into being bad husbands, bad boyfriends, being verbally abusive. It can come into many things. So being broken comes in many different levels. But you know what? Don't feel bad because being broken, having malfunctions, in your brain, in your system, doesn't mean that it's over. It can be reset. It can be restructured. It can be fixed. I personally, last season, I spoke about me going to therapy. I was going to therapy while I was pregnant because I was going through a terrible pregnancy as far as my personal relationship, and it was affecting my pregnancy. And then afterwards, you have postpartum. And you go through so many things. Postpartum is even one of those serious things where there are women that kill themselves and they can't help it. Your hormones are all over the place and you're not thinking correctly. There's women that have killed their children. There's women that done all types of craziness because of the postpartum. And that's something that you can't even control. Your body is going through these changes. So don't feel that because you are going through a stage in your life or you've been through things that it can't get fixed, it can't get better, because it can. Here's another one. What about someone who doesn't like to hang out with your family, who is like, I like you, I just can't stand your mother, I can't stand your kids, I don't like your daddy. You know what? I don't want to be around your sister or your cousins or none of them. I don't want to be around none of them. Can that be a deal breaker? Or it's like, you know what? You're dating me and you like me. So who cares if you don't like them?
Well, if you come from our culture, you better be okay hanging out with the family because they're metiches. They're always in your business. They're always around.
Yeah.
They're calling you at inappropriate hours. If you live next to them, they have a key to the house. They don't knock. They just walk in and out.
Yeah.
That's
basically
part of our... Yeah.
Have you ever dated anybody, Alex, who didn't like your family members?
No, thank the Lord, because my mom's the opposite. My mom will tell you straight up to your face if she don't like you. You know what I'm saying? So I've been very blessed with the fact that no one has ever, because I've also take my family side. So there's that.
Well, that's important. Me, I've had people that are like, I like you, but I can't stand your mom. And I just, I'm dating you. I don't want to deal with it. And that's terrible because my mom and I are one. Pero entiendo como mi mamá a veces puede ser metiche. But now that I know better, I can see it. There's something about mothers and fathers at times that they can see the things that we can't see.
Oh, yeah.
It's experience, it's intuition, it's many things that they're like, yo no sé, pero a mí no me gusta ese muchachito. Esa muchachita, algo no me gusta. Something feels weird. Esa no tiene buenas intenciones for you. I don't like it. And later on, they're actually right. So my mom can always peep, the guy that's trash. And whenever she's like, he's trash, he's no good, you shouldn't, I'm like, I want him. So that's the one for me. Last but not least, among so many, what about if they don't want to introduce you to their family or friends? Is that a deal breaker?
That's a red
huge.
flag.
That's a super red flag.
Why?
I'll let Arlene start first, and then I'll throw mine.
I don't know. Yeah, they don't want to introduce you. That happened to me once. The first guy I dated when I moved to LA didn't introduce me to anybody.
Sounds like an LA guy.
And then he had a girlfriend. That's what it was.
Oh, well, you're lucky you only had a girlfriend, didn't have a whole wife with like a whole sack of kids on your side.
That's true. That's true.
Oh my God. What about you? Have you ever hidden a girl or that you've dated from your family and friends?
No, there's no reason for that. I mean, I'm very private on social media. I have a complete separation of church and state when it comes to social media. Okay. My private life is my private life. I don't need anyone's approval nor anyone's quote unquote likes for me to feel approved or happy or this is my relationship. You get what I'm saying?
Said.
And there's always the fact that there's a lot of scrutiny and people out there that are always, if you get in someone's bad side, especially on social media, that will try and do something to harm you. And I hate that because I see friends who are in that situation where they're saints. They love each other, but there's so many mouths on the outside trying to talk,
sabotage. So,
yes.
So that's not doing it. Well, definitely, ladies, here we go. If you're dating someone and he is hiding you from his friends and family, most likely he just wants to smash. And definitely a red flag zone, okay? If he hits you with I don't have any social media, red flag zone. If he doesn't want to, take you out in public, what about this? If he doesn't want to post you on his social media, eso es un arma de doble filo. It could be that, he wants to keep his personal life to himself, or he's trying to hide you from the girl that he actually does love and care for, which is his wife, his girlfriend, his baby moms, or whoever else. So if you really like me and you're really into me, please introduce me to your friends. Please introduce me to your family. If not, I'm just going to friend them on social media and I'm going to send them a picture about us so everybody knows that you're mine and your mother made you for me. Amen. So with that being said, ladies, tell me what you think. Hit me up on Exactly Amara on Instagram. And under the comments, give me a couple of red flags. What have been some red flags for you? Why do you consider that you could have some red flags for someone that may be dating you if you've gone through any experience that has been, weird or awkward while you're dating? I want to know all those things. Conchale, mira, the list of red flags can go on and on and on. Unfortunately, we don't got that type of time, but I'm glad that we went through a couple of them. Alex, Arlene, as usual. Guys, thank you so much for being part of Exactly Amara and giving me a couple of tips because now I have a couple of things to think about now for the next time I start dating. Definitely, I have some things to think about. I don't know what my next date is going to look like. At this point, I'm still a little traumatized and broken. I might need some therapy after this. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for being part of Exactly Amara like every week. Make sure to find me on YouTube. Catch my show by searching for My Cultura podcast and clicking on Exactly Amara. Find me, like I said before, on all our social media platforms at Exactly Amara or just check me out as Amara Negra. And remember that this has been a production of iHeart's My Cultura podcast network. For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. It's your girl Amara Negra. Check me out next time.